Many times we don't dare to go for things, we don't dare to reach, we don't dare to go for certain goals because something is telling us in our minds that too many people are already gunning for it. I always say to people that if the only challenge you are dealing with in your life right now are the ones that life dealt you, then you are not living a fully conscious life yet. You are living a life of reaction if you are not deliberately pushing yourself, placing difficult tasks and challenges on your path. You are reacting, you are not growing. To achieve anything significant in our lives, we need courage. Anything is possible if you've got enough nerve. We need courage to say no to those things that don't matter so we can say yes to our destiny. We need courage to say no to those things that we don't want so we can say yes to those things that we do want. We need courage to say no to busy work so we can say yes to our life's work. Dare to go for the big goals, dare to dream big, because only very few people would dare to in the first place. If we are going to take our lives to a whole new level, then we must be willing to take risks. Now, the challenge though for most of us isn't that we don't know the importance of risk taking. The challenge for most of us is knowing the difference between necessary and unnecessary risks. To the extent that you hear people say things like take risks or take calculated risks. Calculated risks? What in the world is a calculated risk? Take risks, but take purposeful risks. Be purposeful in your risk taking. That's it. We need courage to dream in the midst of adversity. We need courage to dream bigger where others say reduce the size of your dream, because we understand that no individual, organization or nation ever came out of a crisis by playing it safe. Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography, Total Recall, in the book he was talking about how at age 17 he goes in for his very first international bodybuilding competition. And here he is, this youngster with no experience among all these older and more established bodybuilders. But here's the thing, he gets in for the competition and discovers that he's in such great shape that he ends up getting second. The guy is all over the moon. He's so happy and so excited. But on the flight back home, that's when he begins to think to himself and now says that, wow, I came second. What if I had really given this my best shot? What if I had really prepared? What if I had given this 100%? I could have come first. That it was at that time, at that point, that he made up his mind that he would never go into any event, any project to compete. He will always go in to win. What is a purposeful risk? A purposeful risk is a risk that challenges us. It's asking, how can I make the process harder so that I can get better? This is something new. It's a new challenge. It's something that will probably take the whole of me to achieve. I love the way Arnold Schwarzenegger puts it. He calls it muscle shock therapy. And the idea is that you shock your muscles into doing something difficult and hard that they have never done before, so that they have no choice but to stretch, sometimes break, but eventually heal and grow. Now that's what a challenge does to us. It will cause us to stretch, sometimes break, but at the end of the day, we will heal, grow, and become better versions of ourselves. We need courage not to be sentimental, but to be sensitive to our destiny. We need courage to live our truth, because we say to ourselves, it doesn't matter if it's not important to the next person, as long as it's important to me, it's important. That it's important to live our truth, even if it's not popular. That winning mindset, that winning mentality is what makes all the difference. That you do not see yourself as a struggler, you do not see yourself as a statistic, as just one of the numbers. You see yourself as a champion, you see yourself as a winner, irrespective of, with all due respect, but irrespective of whosoever the competitors may be. And that you refuse to give that excuse of the competition as a reason why you don't dare. A purposeful risk is a risk that dares us to do something different. Now, the idea is that how can you do what you do in a radically different way? Do something that the veteran trainers are probably not thinking of doing. Find a way to differentiate myself and validate my message. We need courage not to forget our dream. We need courage to pursue our dream, to ask for help and for the things that we need. We shout our dreams from the rooftop so we can attract the kind of help we need to make that dream a reality. We need courage to ask and negotiate for what we want, because we understand that success is not for the holy, success is for the hungry. Hunger is proof of the existence of food. Thirst is proof of of the existence of water. That thing that we desire is out there desiring us. If you are feeling insecure, remember that others are feeling insecure too. So don't overestimate the competition and end up underestimating yourself. Don't, for the fear of controversy, deny yourself of any life experience. Another way to say that is, don't, for the fear of the competition, deny yourself of any life experience. A purposeful risk is a risk that dares us to share more of ourselves. It's about asking, how can I move from speaking from my head to speaking from my heart? How can I dare to move from something theoretical to something more personal and practical? How can I share more of myself? How can I share more of what I really think and feel and desire? It's about that belief in people's capacity to handle the truth, my truth and your truth. We need courage to heed the inner symphony of our hearts, even when it doesn't make sense, because we understand that not all who wander are lost, and that you can't connect the dots of your life looking forward. You can only connect the dots of your life looking back. So what do? We trust God, we trust our instincts, we trust our gut, we trust the process, that somehow the puzzle pieces of our lives will eventually come together to form this beautiful and awesome and complete picture. Have you ever thought about it this way, that the reason you and I are probably struggling at the level that we are struggling on is because we are not dreaming big enough, daring big enough, reaching high enough? Have you ever heard of traffic congestion in the air? Perhaps in the future, when maybe we have flying cars. Right now, the ground is congested, but the sky is open and free for anyone who would dare to reach, for anyone who would dare to dream big. If we are really going to live a life of no excuses, a life where we exceed limits, break barriers, go on to crush our goals and become the very best version of ourselves, it's helpful to remember that to evolve, we need to be willing to take risks, and it's better to evolve than to be a late comer to evolution. Not all risks actually are rewarded, but you know what's never rewarded? Stagnation. We need courage to love after we've been hurt several times. A heart that is filled with hate towards one is limited in its capacity to show love to another. Any emotional wall we build around our heart to prevent the bad stuff and the bad guys from getting in will eventually keep the good stuff and the good guys out. Our ego may have been hurt, but love wasn't hurt, because love is bigger than you. Love is bigger than me. Love is bigger than anyone that may have hurt us or any unpleasant experience we may have been through. If love wasn't hurt and cannot be hurt, then let's free ourselves to be channels of love rather than protect or safeguard love. Only few people are gunning for those very big goals. Be among the very few. And what do you know? You may just come first among those very few people who are gunning for those very big goals. Those goals that get the blood in your veins pumping and cause you to leap out of bed. And even if you don't come first, here's what is going to happen. You would have gotten the satisfaction of knowing that you gave everything to trying to achieve that goal. You gave it your all. You gave it your very best shot as the winner and as the champion that you know that you are. You dare to dream where others wouldn't dream to dare. How do you find the courage to start that project? By finding a cause that is bigger than you. Maybe the reasons your fears feel so great is because your cause is too small. When your cause is great, your fears begin to shrink. What is your cause? What are you fighting for? Who are you fighting for? A cause that makes you want to help, not hurt, give, not take, serve, not demand. Whether it's an orphanage to serve, a neighbor to encourage, a family in need to support, whether it's a spouse to pamper, parents and siblings to get nice things for, or an inspiring story to share tomorrow. Love a cause. This is how we gain and sustain the courage to dream big and take risks.